Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am the Maize Madman. Before we get started, like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. That's the mantra. Anyway, today we're talking about huge crystal balls in favor of the Wolverines. Plus, Chris Partridge, former linebacker coach for Michigan, releases a statement, and the CFP released the college football playoff rankings again. We're going to talk about it, all that. And I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little bro, man. And I'm going to tell him why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, the other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset. I'm gonna tell him why I'm mad. First things first, I told you why I was gonna be mad in this video, in the last video. The CFP released their college football playoff rankings, and of course, the other state found themselves in a very, very advantageous position. They went from number 2 to number 6 after being beaten by the Wolverines 30-24 this past Saturday. That means they are ahead of teams like 1-loss Texas, 1-loss Alabama. They are just behind 1-loss Oregon. What this means is Oregon and Washington, we know Washington, who is number 3 in the CFP, they're going to play each other. That's going to work itself out one way or the other, which is going to, obviously, that number 3 spot will be taken. Florida State, though, is the weak link, according to everyone. Florida State, 12-0, undefeated. Even if they beat Louisville, who just lost to Kentucky, they probably will be replaced. Theoretically, they would be replaced by the Big 12 winner, if that's Texas, or the SEC winner. If it's not Georgia, we're thinking Alabama. Of course, if Alabama beats Georgia, Alabama would be in. Some people are thinking, right? However, the other state wouldn't play a conference championship game and could, because there is a scenario where they could get in, they could just moonwalk themselves into another CFP. As someone pointed out, a lovely lady, Madison, pointed out during the live, it was a close game. They were on the road against Michigan. Great. I don't care. All right. I was born to dislike this university, and I was born to hate their chances of winning anything. So I don't like it off the bat, but being the reasonable and objective person that I am, I can understand that argument. I understand they lost a close game on the road to the eventual national champions, by the way, University of Michigan Wolverines. That said, if Alabama loses, if Texas loses, if by some chance, let's say Washington handles its business against Oregon, and it really doesn't matter, actually, whoever wins that game is in my opinion, especially if those other two teams lose, Texas and Alabama, they're in. Then, let's say something catastrophic happens, like Florida State loses to Louisville, which is very plausible now, especially since they're on quarterback number 3 in 2 weeks. Then we could have a scenario where the other state is playing in the CFP again. It's vile, it's disgusting, it's a cesspool. Anyway, outside of that, I'm also upset. I'm upset that Michigan is number 2 in the CFP, being the only team to play and defeat 2 top 10 teams, according to the CFP, in Penn State and the other state, behind Georgia still, which means Michigan will probably finish behind Georgia if Georgia takes care of business, of course. in this CFP, which means Michigan won't have the right to choose their bowl game, which means Michigan will be playing the number 3 seed, which it doesn't matter at this point to me because I just feel like Michigan's going to beat whoever. So that's a little inconsequential and it shouldn't matter. Anyway, I've taken up enough time speaking about this. Let's move on.
Maize and Blue Nation, it's Tom Brady. I co-founded Autograph with one mission in mind: change the fan experience for the better. That's why I'm excited to announce the release of a new app that recognizes the biggest Michigan fans. The Autograph Fandom app gives you access to the best Michigan content, fan challenges, and exclusive rewards for diehard Wolverines, all for doing the things you already do, like listening to this podcast. Head over to the Apple App Store and search for Autograph Rewarding Fans and download today.
Let's get right to it. Former Michigan linebacker coach Chris Partridge recently released a statement basically denying the allegations that have been spread throughout social media and the media at large that he was caught destroying evidence from an investigation, an ongoing investigation, and that he had knowledge of the ongoing sign stealing or anything like that. He cleared that up in a statement saying, "Out of deep respect and consideration for the young men of Team 144, I waited to issue this statement to avoid additional distractions to the team as they achieve their goal of defeating the Ohio State and completing an undefeated regular season." He goes on to explain that Michigan Athletic Director Ward Manuel, in that meeting where he was relieved of his duties on November 17th, and in a letter that he received, an official letter, termination letter from the university, that he was terminated because of a failure to abide by the university directive to discuss an ongoing NCAA investigation with anyone associated with the Michigan football program. So kind of setting the record straight, clearing his name. I'm not upset about it. Put some respect on my name. That's the way everyone should be with their name, by the way. So shout out to Chris Partridge for clearing that up. We move on. Really quickly, an update on Gatlin Bear in my last video. Gatlin Bear has confirmed that Michigan will receive an in-home visit when the time comes in December. So that is very positive news for the Wolverines. He plans to make his college decision in December sometime before, of course, leaving for his LDS mission of 2 years in January or February. So Michigan will receive an in-home visit along with Oregon and possibly Boise State, depending on who they hire as the new head coach. So I'll keep you updated on this as more information becomes available. Getting to what we were here for today, Michigan received some huge news in terms of crystal balls since the visit for the game. Let's start with number one, 3-star athlete out of the state of Michigan. In fact, he's from Detroit, University of Detroit, Jesuit High School. I've actually interviewed this young man on the channel. You can check that interview out here. Elijah Dobson, 6'2", 175-pound athlete, received an offer from Michigan earlier this season. Steve Klinkscale, who has been the primary recruiter with Dobson. That said, as you can see from his film, he's a two-way guy, goes offense and defense. He is just a phenomenal athlete, has good speed, great length, especially for a defensive back. So be very, very exciting to have him in the fold in the 2025 class. He is currently rated 452nd nationally, the 31st ranked athlete, and the number 6 rated player in the state of Michigan. I'll keep you updated as more information becomes available. That said, I did text with Elijah after his visit. He said it was a 10 out of 10 and the best visit he's been on so far. So shout out to Elijah Dobson. I got to give him a shout out. Sticks is what I call him. He wears the number 11 for his high school. So shout out to Sticks over there, University of Jesuit High School. Moving right along. Keeping it in state, we move on to 4-star offensive tackle out of Wiley Groves in Franklin, Michigan in the 2025 class, Avery Gash. He is rated the 194th ranked player in the nation, the number 10 interior offensive lineman, and the second rated player in the entire state of Michigan for 2025. Gash, 6'5", 275-pounder, was on campus for the game. Left very impressed. Michigan is in this recruitment and has received this crystal ball, however, over schools like Wisconsin, Michigan State, Penn State, just to name a few, including the other state and Alabama. So this would be a very big win for Michigan, keeping top-rated players from in-state in state. I'll keep you updated on Gash's recruitment as more information becomes available as well. The next player we'll talk about is a guy out of Tennessee, Eli Owens. Eli has made 6 visits to Ann Arbor, and he was also on tap for the game against the other state. Owens is part of a group called MPA, and that's the National Players Academy. They have provided players like Junior Colson and current Michigan commit in the 2024 class, Mason Curtis, both linebackers. However, Owens plays tight end. He is a 4-star prospect depending on the service that you use. According to the 24/7 composite rankings, he is a 4-star rated 336 in the country, the 18th ranked tight end in the country, and the 11th ranked player in the state of Tennessee. This is just another player from that pipeline that Michigan has kind of created in Tennessee, especially through that National Players Academy. So this would be another great win for Michigan in a state that they are trying to establish roots in. I'll keep you updated on the goings on with Mr. Owens moving forward. This next player is a guy that Michigan has been highly coveting. In fact, defensive coordinator Jesse Minter went personally to see him perform and play for his school in the 7 cities area of Virginia, and that is one Mr. Jamari Delo. Deloach also doubles as a track star. I believe he had the Virginia state record for like indoor 100 meters or something like that. Very, very athletic player. He is out of Chesapeake, Virginia, Oscar Smith High School, 5'10", 160-pound corner, rated nationally the 212th ranked player, the number 26 corner, and the 8th ranked player in all of Virginia. Deloach is very high on Michigan, had already included the Wolverines in his top 8, and now with Michigan receiving that crystal ball, it seems pretty academic from here on them landing Deloach. I'll keep you posted as more information becomes available here as well. Finally, moving on to the final crystal ball Michigan received following the visit, or the game rather, the visits for the game, and that is 6'6", 265-pound defensive lineman Jaylen Williams out of Palatine, Illinois, Palatine High School. In the 2025 class, he is ranked 166th, the number 16 defensive lineman and the 4th ranked player in the state of Illinois. Williams is a complete and utter beast and would be a welcome addition to that Michigan defense. I'm sure the defensive line coach, the defensive coordinator, all those guys, Jesse Minter, Mike Elston, are salivating to get their hands on Jaylen Williams and what he can mean to that Michigan defense in the future. I'll keep you posted on his recruitment as more information becomes available. This last visit for the game against the other state was his second visit to A2. So things really heating up for Michigan on the recruiting trail in the 2025 class. I'll have more for you tomorrow. Plus, I know I had to reschedule that interview with 4-star cornerback Dwayne Galloway. Fret not, we will get it done. He just had some other commitments that he needed to take care of. So shout out to Dwayne. Until next time, though, stay angry, my friends. Follow me everywhere at Maize Madman. I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. Ratings, they're about to go through.
All right, now I'ma calm down. Son. I just don't get that all that Mace and that lock and all that puff. I just don't get it, son, for real.
Just calm
And how
down.
the